Live from Ting Stadium in Holly Springs, North Carolina, 82 degrees outside, a clear blue sky on a blazing summer day. For the Wilmington Sharks, 2-0 in the Coastal Plain League versus the Holly Springs Salamanders, they're 2-2. Hello everybody, I'm Lance Williams, here for a rematch between these two opening day foes. The Sharks won that game 8-1 on Thursday, and it's also the road debut of the Sharks Audio Network. Select road games can be found on this YouTube channel, and all Shark home games and Coastal Plain League games can be found on FloSports. The Sharks last played on Saturday for their home opener against the new Coastal Plain League team, the Greenville Yard Gnomes, winning 5-3. The Sharks, they bit first in the bottom of the second inning without even recording a hit. Greenville's starter Colton Dorsey, he walked 4, and the Sharks took advantage, stealing 4 bases. A Josh Miller groundout scored Cam Hassert, and then Jason Cully scored from third on a wild pitch. Sharks up 2-0. Greenville then scored 1 in both the 4th and 5th inning to tie the game up at 2-2. And in the top of the 8th inning, after being knotted up for quite a bit, the Yard Gnomes, they took a 3-2 lead. The Sharks, though, they retaliated in the bottom of that inning, plating 3 to take a 5-3 lead. Thomas Paxton then he took the mound in the 9th inning, and he mowed down batters to earn the save. The offense was excellent on the bases. 7 walks were drawn, and they stole 6 bases, 3 of them coming from the center fielder Jason Cully, 2 of them from Connor Powell, and 1 of them from the shortstop Cam Hassert. Hunter Herndon and Justin Herrera, they also both went 2 for 4 on the day with a double, and the pitching just as dominant. Spencer Cipro, he started the night off with 2 1-2-3 innings. He finished the game with 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run allowed, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. And that's really impressive considering there was a 30-minute rain delay in that game, and Cipro's pregame routine was not disrupted. Sharks pitching staff, they finished with 10 strikeouts, and B.J. Bryson Jewell, he earned the win after recording the final out of the 8th inning. He's now 1-0 on the season. The Salamanders, they last played on Sunday against Asheboro, winning that game 7-1. Holly Springs exploded with a 6-run first inning and commanded the game from there. The starter, Jackson Sleeper, well, he was wide awake. He threw 5 shutout innings, 2 hits, no walks, and 6 strikeouts. The offense, they went 10 for 31. The designated hitter hitting second, Danny Stevens, that man, he went 3 for 4 with a triple and 2 runs scored. Coming up next, starting pitchers and lineups. First, we'll take a pause.
Completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Your family is your legacy. Planning for a natural disaster will make sure you're all safe. Visit ready.gov/plan today for the tools and tips you need to protect that legacy. That's ready.gov/plan. A message brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Welcome back to the Wilmington Sharks Audio Network. I'm Lance Williams here with your Sharks pregame show. Now to take a look at the starting pitchers for today's contest. Since Wilmington's the road team, we'll start with them. Their starter, Aubrey Smith, the righty from UNC Wilmington. I actually got a chance to speak with Smith in preparation for tonight's matchup. Aubrey, you redshirted this past year at UNCW. How do you feel going into your first appearance since last summer?
I feel really prepared. The coaches at Wilmington, they put me on this track because they thought it was the best way for me to become the most successful as I can and get the most out of myself. So just kind of having this year to really focus every day on my stuff and not have to worry about going out there and really competing yet has kind of prepared me to go out there now that it's time to compete. Gives me the confidence. That way I'm not really worried about my stuff not working for me. I'm just able to go out there and compete and not think too much about anything.
And then last summer you were with the Bristol State Liners of the Appalachian League. What did you learn about summer baseball there?
It's a grind. I didn't really expect it because the jump from high school to college ball was big enough. And then when I got to Bristol last year, I realized you play 6 days out of the week, which was kind of a change from what I'm used to.
And then for tonight against Holly Springs, it's on a turf mound. Does that change anything?
I actually played my state championship my senior year of high school here. So I've pitched here a few times in my life, so I'm not too worried about the turf. I don't think it's going to be a big factor, but it's definitely not preferred over a dirt mound, that's for sure.
All right. Thanks, Aubrey.
Yep. Thank you, man.
That was my discussion with the righty, Aubrey Smith. Once again, he redshirted this past season at UNC Wilmington, not due to injury. The coaching staff at UNCW, they just wanted him to develop more and just become a better player, as he mentioned. And he's also local to the Wilmington area from neighboring Leland. And so it's his first time pitching since last summer. That was, once again, with the Bristol State Liners of the Appalachian League. In 7 games there, he had a 1-1 record and a 6.23 ERA. What the Wilmington field manager, Russ Burrows, is looking for him, just to throw strikes. And should all be good if you do that. And, of course, easier said than done, but that's the expectation for Smith. Now, the starting pitcher for the home team, the Holly Springs Salamanders, that's the 6'9" righty Ian Askin, and a very unique personnel movement by the manager, Brian Roundtree, for the Salamanders, because this was the guy who came into Thursday's Coastal Plain League opener against the Sharks, and he didn't do too well. That game was completely scoreless on both ends through 5 innings, and then Askin, he came in and, well, I'll just read off his line. 1 1/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 5 runs allowed, 4 of them earned, 1 walk, and 0 strikeouts. That's his only appearance this season, and he has a 27.01 ERA. So Askin, not an ideal start to the CPL season, but his manager displaying a lot of trust in the big man and giving him a chance at redemption against the Sharks. More about Askin. He's a 22-year-old from Barton College, a 2-1 record with a 6.46 ERA in 12 games and 1 start this past season. It's actually his 4th season of summer baseball. Some of these players, maybe it's their first, maybe it's their second. No, Askin, number 4. In 2021, he was with the Forest City Owls of the Coastal Plain League, as well as the Wisconsin Woodchucks of the Northwoods League. 22 with Lake Norman of the Southern Collegiate League. 2023, the Kokomo Jackrabbits of the Northwoods League. And then in 2024, obviously he's here with Holly Springs. So a veteran in terms of summer ball, but the Sharks well-versed with his playing style after Thursday's game. In fact, let's take a look at the lineups right now starting with the Wilmington Sharks. Leading off for them is Connor Powell. This is a guy who was voted preseason number 2 in terms of players in which fans want to watch. So lots of respect from the fans. And he is leading off out in left field. Hitting second is Caleb Johnson, another lefty playing second base. He plays short over in Jacksonville State, the college he calls home. Hitting third is Jack Rothenhausler out in right field. Cleanup duties belong to Anthony Labita, the third baseman, another lefty, the man who has the only home run for the Sharks this season, once again coming in that expedition game on Wednesday. Hitting fifth, Joey DiMucci, making his Sharks debut behind home plate. In the sixth spot, Cam Hassert, the shortstop. Hitting seventh, Jay Bant, the big man at first base. The designated hitter is Max Tauchik, coming off his freshman campaign. He's hitting eighth. And rounding out the order for the Wilmington Sharks, Jason Cully, the center fielder. That's 6 left-handed hitters to pair up against the 6'9" righty. Now the lineup for the home team, the Holly Springs Salamanders. Leading off for them is Elijah Dickerson out in right field. Hitting second, Jackson Dunlap in left. Jason Jellick, the catcher, he's hitting third. The cleanup duties belong to Michael Quinones, the senior. He's hitting in the left-handed box. He's at first base. Trenton Lyons, the Ole Miss guy, shortstop, hitting fifth. Cole McCullum is hitting sixth. He's the DH. And at the seventh spot, Robert Nedry on the hot corner. Miles Newsom at second base. He's hitting eighth. And rounding out the order for the Holly Springs Salamanders, Andrew Opata, the center fielder from Northern Georgia. Handshakes going along in the batter's box between the Holly Springs catcher Jason Jellick and the umpires. The umpires for today's game, behind home plate calling balls and strikes, that's Greg Stanley. Dennis Mishaw at first. And along the third base line, that's Robert Hemingway. Now I'll set the defense for the Holly Springs Salamanders. Behind home plate, that's Joey DiMucci. Correction, that's for the Sharks. Behind home plate for the Salamanders, that's Jason Jellick. First base, Michael Quinones. Second, Miles Newsom. Shortstop, Trenton Lyons. And the third baseman, Robert Nedry. Now the outfield, left to right, Jackson Dunlap, Andrew Opata, and right field, Elijah Dickerson. Now we'll take a brief pause for the national anthem. First pitch coming up next.
You let him try violin because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Your family is your legacy. Planning for a natural disaster will make sure you're all safe. Visit ready.gov/plan today for the tools and tips you need to protect that legacy. That's ready.gov/plan. A message brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council. Your legacy. Planning for a natural disaster will make sure you're all safe. Visit ready.gov/plan today for the tools and tips you need to protect that legacy. That's ready.gov/plan. A message brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Zombies, public speaking, the list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Wilmington Sharks Audio Network. I'm Lance Williams here live from Ting Stadium in Holly Springs. A beautiful stadium at that. Very gorgeous. Turf field, turf mound, turf infield, turf everywhere. The uniforms for the Salamanders White pants, white jersey with orange and blue stripes along the midsection, yellow numbers on the back, and the yellow Holly Springs logo on the front. Their ball caps, yellow brim, white front, blue back, and then a golden CPL logo on the back end. The Sharks, they're wearing their light blue jerseys, navy numbering, and the Wilmington Sharks logo on the front. Gray pants, and then their navy blue helmets with the W secondary logo for the Sharks. The pitcher, Ian Askin, he's getting some practice pitches off. And once again, just a beautiful day here in Holly Springs. A gorgeous ballpark. The team owned by Capital Broadcasting, which is also the owner of the Durham Bulls and the Greenville Yard Gnomes, who the Sharks played on Saturday. The top of the order for the Sharks, that's Connor Powell, Caleb Johnson, and Jack Rothenhausler, who are due up to hit. It's a little bit of a different lineup from Thursday's game. Some guys who weren't in that game who are going to be expected to be key contributors to this team, such as Caleb Johnson, Joey DiMucci. And there were more temporary guys in that game. Holly Springs, this stadium, Ting Stadium, 1,800 seats, all under roofs for the most part, metal roofs with large fans. And with that, Connor Powell, the left-handed left fielder, he strides to the plate, digs himself into that turf, almost said dirt. Russ Burrows shakes the hand of the third base umpire, Robert Hemingway. And the pitch from Askin, there it is, upstairs fastball, ball one. One owes the count to Connor Powell. Next release, fastball away, ball two. Connor Powell, a black bat. Next pitch, breaking ball finds the plate for strike one. And that's one of the big differences for these players between their college teams and the college competition in these wood bat leagues. As the next pitch comes in and Powell takes a big hack, can't make contact, 2-2. Is converting from the aluminum BB core bats to the wooden bats like those used in the big leagues. The players, a lot of them have never really played with wood before. As the next pitch comes in, and breaking ball outside and down low for ball three. Full count now to Powell. It's a hard adjustment for some. Some people, it just comes easy. The pitcher's next pitch swung on and missed. Connor Powell goes down swinging. So one away in the top of the first. Sharks versus Holly Springs, still scoreless. With that, Caleb Johnson, the second baseman, coming up to the plate now. The shortstop plays at Jacksonville State, and he's wearing their red batting gloves and looks like a red towel in his back left pocket. So with the pitchers, obviously the balls are the same, so they're still throwing the balls, but the velocity from the barrel to the ball, it leads to a lot less hard-hit ground balls. And that can be beneficial to the pitchers, actually, as what might be a hard-line ball as the next pitch comes outside for ball two. 2 balls, no strikes to Johnson. So what some hard-hit ground balls might turn into a single or even a double if they roll along the foul lines. As that pitch comes inside for strike one. They can become just a softly hit ground ball swallowed up by either the shortstop, third baseman, second baseman, whoever, and turn into an easy ground out. So it can be beneficial For the pitchers is the 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball right down Broadway. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Johnson. Sharks second baseman. 1 away in the top of the first. Holly Springs versus Wilmington. And then for the hitters, they're used to their bats usually that they use in college. As the 2-2 pitch is lifted along the third base line. Tracking it down is Dunlip. Did he make the catch, or did it drop, or was it foul? A single for Caleb Johnson. And then for the hitters, the metal bats, obviously the ball is going to come off the bat a lot harder, so they have to adjust to that. What some hits might be a home run as this first pitch is grounded right to the third baseman, throw over to second. There in time. This could be 2. Yes, it is. 5-4-3 double play. Jack Rothenhausler off the first pitch. Bottom of the first coming up next. Sharks and Salamanders. You're watching Sharks Baseball on YouTube.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
I'm Lance Williams, live from Holly Springs, bottom of the first inning between Holly Springs and Wilmington. The Sharks, they got a base runner off of the Caleb Johnson base hit, but he was retired off of Jack Rothenhausler's double play ground out. First pitch to Elijah Dickerson down low for ball 1. It was the first pitch from Aubrey Smith since last summer. Now the 1-0. This one bounced to the glove of the third baseman, charging on the infield, and he makes the throw over to Jay Bant for out number 1. That was Anthony Labita, the Pace University product.
Now batting, junior Juwan, number 26, Jackson Dunlap.
So a good way for Aubrey Smith to start the season. Now to the plate is Jackson Dunlap, the left fielder. Smith working from the stretch. Now he unloads. Beautiful slider. Finds the zone for strike 1. Here's Smith again. Fastball outside and down low. An attempted frame job by Joey DiMucci, the catcher, was unsuccessful. Next pitch lifted out to right field. Trying to track it down is Rothenhausler, and it drops and it fumbles out of his glove. He's running over to the second base bag, trying to make the tag. Is Hassert? No, it gets out of the glove. Poor fielding from the Sharks. What should have been a one-hopper into the glove of the right fielder, Rothenhausler. Results in the base runner getting over to second. So, will likely be ruled a base hit And reaching second off the error, an E9. Now to the plate is Jason Jellick, the sophomore catcher. Another left-handed hitter. Aubrey Smith. Eyeing over at the man at second. Now his pitch fouled backwards into the netting. Shade covering a quadrant of the infield grass. The one closer to home plate. Aubrey Smith, the starter. Sun in his eyes. Now he deals. A strike. Jackson Jellick down in the count. No balls to 2 strikes. Smith gets the signal. Now he unloads. This one, bouncer to the glove of the third baseman. Labita turning, charging 2 bounces into the glove of Bant. The base runner is safe. No, he was retired. Boos of disapproval from the Salamanders fans. The runner on second, Dunlap, he advanced over off the 5-3 ground out to third, though. 2 away. First pitch to Quinones is swung on and missed. That's Michael Quinones, the left-handed hitting first baseman. Still scoreless, bottom of the first, Wilmington versus Holly Springs. Smith looks over at the man at third, that's Dunlap. The pitch inside. The first baseman had to get away from it. Smith shakes off the errant pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. A runner at third. Smith swung on and missed. Strike 2. Ting Stadium with a beautiful video board out in left center field. Couple advertisements, couple signs as the 1-2 pitch. Down low for ball 2. On the left side of the top of the scoreboard reads Holly, a salamander, then reads Springs. Now the 2-2 pitch, fouled backwards above the Holly Springs dugout. Something you don't see very often here in Holly Springs. The road dugout is along the first base line, and the home team along the third base line. The pitch lifted out to center field. That will drop. Dunlap jogging home. No, it was corralled by Jason Culley. Jason Culley did a great job at coming forward towards that hit, or that ball that was smacked. And no runners come home, despite the Salamanders getting a runner in scoring position. Top of the second coming up next here in Holly Springs.
Then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful, it's the least that you can do.
Don't play with matches, don't play with fire.
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com. And remember,
only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
I'm Scarlett Johansson.
My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. You can join the movement to end hunger.
Top of the second inning, Sharks versus Salamanders. Anthony Labita now to the plate. First pitch he sees outside the glove of the catcher, S.H.A.R.K.S, was an inside fastball. Labita, the cleanup man for today's game. Also hit cleanup on Saturday. Now the next pitch, down low and in. 2 balls, no strikes to Labita. That's the starter, Ian Askin, remaining on the mound. Labita, the homer on Wednesday in that exhibition game, is the next pitch. Fastball finds the plate for strike 1. He had the home run there. Then against Holly Springs on Thursday, 2 for 5. 3 runners batted in, plus a run scored. Next pitch, way outside and away. Diving after it was S.H.A.R.K. along the left side of the plate. That's Anthony Labita, the left-handed hitter, playing third today. The 3-1 pitch. Breaking ball outside, ball 4. Second base runner of the day for the Sharks. This time off a walk. Now here's Joey DiMucci in the plate, or stepping up to the plate. From Monmouth University in West Long Branch, New Jersey. From just outside of Philly, as the first pitch he sees outside and away, or outside and away is synonymous, just outside. DiMucci from just outside of Philly. The next pitch down low for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to DiMucci. No outs in the top of the second. Sharks versus Salamanders still scoreless. Anthony Labita, the third baseman, he's at first with a 10-foot lead. Next pitch away for ball 3. Ian Askin struggling to find the zone, and with that, a visit by a member of the coaching staff for the Salamanders. So DiMucci, last season, he played college ball. This season, he's playing college ball once again, or college summer ball. That was with the Futures Collegiate League. He was playing in Connecticut. And he said that was a positive experience there. He only played 21 games, although he went 19 for 57, which is just at .333. But so, kid from right outside of Philadelphia, coming down to Wilmington, North Carolina for the summer. He said, there's really nothing like baseball in the South, especially in the summer. And here he is for his first at-bat in the CPL. Mound meeting is over. Ian Askin back on the mound. Now he unleashes the pitch. Inside, ball 4. Consecutive walks to start this top of the second inning. That's Labita now at second. And DiMucci at first. And Cam Hassert, the shortstop. Speaking of Villanova, it's a Villanova. Or speaking of Philadelphia, a Villanova guy. Hassert had 9 RBIs last season for the Sharks. First pitch he sees is a fastball that snags the outside corner for strike 1. Askin looks over at Labita at second. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball finds the plate for strike 2. Hassert played 33 games for Wilmington last season, and he was struck out 32 times. Also hit .300, though. Askin continuously looking over at Labita. Now the next pitch swung on and missed. Nice curveball by the 6'9" righty. So that's the first out of the second inning. Astor goes down swinging. With that, Jay Bant to the plate. With white cleats to match his white batting gloves. He has 2 runners on, 1 out. Still scoreless between Holly Springs and Wilmington. First pitch he sees fouled off. That's Anthony Labita. Something to note with Labita. He hits left, throws right, sliding mitt on that left hand. I guess that makes sense. You don't want to hurt the hand that you throw with. Ian Askins stepped off the rubber briefly to, I guess, intimidate the runners on. That's Labita with a large 18-foot lead off second. Now the pitch hit high but foul into the stands for the fans on the third base line. Jay Bant, a college teammate of the runner at first, DiMucci. Both play over at Monmouth. Jay Bant from Wall, New Jersey. Askin staring over at Labita. Now he throws the 0-2 way outside for ball 1. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, top of the second. Labita at second. DiMucci at first. Ian Askin, his pitch. This one's hit right past the glove of the second baseman. Labita rounding third, dashing home. There safely. Jay Bant, an RBI base hit, also gets DiMucci to third. Sharks bite first. They lead 1-0. Good way for the Sharks to start this game. They're 2-0 on the season. Looking to make it 3-0. Next pitch. Finds the plate to Max Tauchik, the designated hitter. The Sharks have scored first in all of their games this season, except for the exhibition game on Wednesday, as the next pitch is swung on and missed by Tauchik. An outside curveball that he fouls into the mitt of the catcher, Jarek. No balls, 2 strikes to Tauchik, who just completed his freshman season at Dodge City Community College. The 0-2 pitch, way upstairs for ball 1. Dodge City Community College, that's in Kansas. Tauchik, he's from Colleyville, Texas. Well-traveled is the young man. The 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, just inside to even the count at 2-2. DiMucci, the catcher, at third. Jay Bant at first. 2 Monmouth Hawks, both perched in the corners of this infield as Tauchik fouls the next one off softly towards the on-deck circle. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes to Max Tauchik, the right-handed hitter against the 6'9" righty. Next pitch swung on and missed. Third strikeout of the day for Ian Askin. That's the second out of this inning. Top of the second frame. Wilmington made about a 2-hour trek towards the inner part of this state of North Carolina. And with that, the bottom of the order, Jason Culley, the 9-hole hitter, he's up to hit. First pitch he sees way outside and away. Way outside is the fastball. Jason Cully, one of the 6 left-handed hitters for the Sharks. The 1-0, cut on and missed, strike 1. Cully was simply unstoppable on the base paths on Saturday. The Sharks, with 6 stolen bases in that game, he had 3 of them. As the 1-1 pitch, inside, out of the glove of Jarek, no one moves. Jay Bant, not much mobility. He's 5'11", 220. He's at first. The catcher, DiMucci, he's at third. 2-1 is the count. The pitch, downstairs, ball 3. So in that Saturday contest, Cully 1 for 2, 2 runs, 2 walks, 3 stolen bases. Now the 3-1. Finds the plate for strike 2. With a 3-1 count there, Cully can be a little picky with the pitch that he was looking for. But Askin threw a strike. So it's a 3-2 count, 2 outs. Runners on third and first. Askin throws. Curveball. Strike 3. Cully didn't swing. So 1 hit, no errors, 2 runners left on. Sharks drive in 1, though. They have a 1-0 lead going into the bottom of the second. You're watching Sharks Baseball on the Wilmington Audio Network.
Park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Wish your life came.
Bottom of the second inning here in Holly Springs. The Salamanders back up to hit against the Wilmington Sharks. Sharks drew first blood in the top of this inning off the Jay Bant RBI base hit. First pitch from Smith way outside to Trenton Lyons, the shortstop. Lyons just completed his freshman year at Ole Miss as the next pitch fouled on a line towards the wall along the first base side. And it's Hunter Herndon, the first baseman, not playing today. He's active on the bench as the 1-1 pitch comes in for ball 2. But Herndon made a long jog out towards the corner to retrieve that ball. 2 balls, 1 strike to Lyons. Next pitch. This one's hit on the ground towards Bant. Running over to first, makes the tag. It was a little too close, but still 1 away. An unassisted ground out towards the first baseman, Bant. Now to the plate is Cole McCullum, the designated hitter for the Salamanders. First pitch from Smith, swung on and missed. 0-1 is the count to Cole McCollum. One away, bottom of the second. Sharks lead 1-0. Next pitch, lifted out to center field. Going after it is Jason Cully. It drops once, twice into the mitt. A base hit for Cole McCollum. Second hit of the day for the Salamanders. Both teams now with 2 base knocks. Now to the plate is Robert Nedry, the third baseman. First pitch he sees, breaking ball finds the plate for strike 1. Nedry finished his freshman year at NC State. Holly Springs, with a lot of Power 5 guys compared to other teams in the CPL. Should I say Power 4, with the 0-1 pitch coming in down low for ball 1. Power 4 without the Pac-12 now. And that's something that these coaches consider when they're recruiting to field their rosters for these summers. As Smith with a 1-1 count to Robert Nedry, the pitch. This one's lined towards the second baseman. Johnson tags second, throw over to first. Double play to end the inning. 4-6-3, or 4 unassisted 3. Top of the third coming up next. Sharks lead 1-0 on the Wilmington Sharks Audio Network.
You let him try violin because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Your family is your legacy. Planning for a natural disaster will make sure you're all safe. Visit ready.gov/plan today for the tools and tips you need to protect that legacy. That's ready.gov/plan. A message brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
You let him try violin because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Your family is your legacy. Planning for a natural disaster will make sure you're all safe. Visit ready.gov/plan today for the tools and tips you need to protect that legacy. That's ready.gov/plan. A message brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
You let him try.
Top of the third inning, Sharks lead Salamanders 1-0. Top of the order, back to the plate, that's Connor Powell, the left fielder. First pitch he sees down low and into the dirt for ball 1. The Holly Springs Salamanders wearing jerseys that are very reminiscent of the Houston Astros 1980s uniform rainbow uniforms, as the fastball comes in for strike 1 to Powell. Very similar, although with those uniforms, the stripes probably went about 2/3 up from the waist. Now the 1-1, inside and low for ball 2. These are probably only up maybe a third. So less stripes, a little less color. Still cool jerseys. As the 2-1 pitch now to Powell, slammed into the dirt, foul. Connor Powell, one of a handful of Belmont Abbey Crusaders on this Sharks roster. A couple of those guys are on temporary contracts. In fact, Powell, he joined the Sharks last season on a temporary contract as the 2-2 pitch swung on and missed. Strike 3. That's the 5th strikeout of the day for Ian Askian. Still just the top of the 3rd. So Powell came on as a temporary player last summer, earned himself a spot on the team. Now he's back. And back to the plate now is Caleb Johnson, the second baseman, who recorded a base knock in the first. First pitch he sees might have went off his right leg, and it did. First hit by pitch of the game. So, 1 out in the top of the 3rd inning. Sharks get a base runner. That's Caleb Johnson, the second baseman. Sharks lead 1 run to none for Holly Springs. And Jack Rothenhausler, the right fielder, up to hit. Johnson takes off. The throw, is it in time? Nope. Johnson was there with plenty of time. First stolen base of the day for either team. As it's still a 1-0 count to Rothenhausler with a runner in scoring position in Johnson. Johnson with a 20-foot lead. Breaking ball to Rothenhausler finds the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. Johnson made his Sharks debut on Saturday as a pinch hitter. Reached on a fielder's choice. He's dancing over at second. Next pitch swung on and missed, strike 2. So in that Saturday game, it was a key part of that 8th inning rally. His fielder's choice got him on. Was advanced by a Connor Powell base hit. Reached third on a balk, and then was driven home on a sacrifice fly. He's an excellent base runner, as the 1-2 pitch to Rothenhausler is lifted high out to shallow left center field. Going after it is Lyons, and it's actually Opada, the center fielder, making the catch with 2 hands. Johnson, this past season with Jacksonville State, he had 14 swipes. He's from Alabama. And that's something to note. Jacksonville State University, it's in Alabama. Not to be confused with Jacksonville, Florida, and then Jacksonville, North Carolina, as Johnson takes off the throw. Is it in time? Oh, and he slid off the base. But the umpire said he was safe. It looked like Johnson slid in and then came off the base. And then the third baseman, Nedry, tried to tag him. But the third base umpire, Robert Hemingway, says he's safe. Johnson almost gunned down by the catcher, Jarek. Now the manager for Holly Springs, Brian Roundtree, he's out to exchange a couple words with Hemingway. The call on the field is stolen base number 1 for the CPL season for Johnson. A lot of deliberation. Roundtree and Hemingway straddling along the third base line, just arguing. Roundtree, a tall guy, just chin is probably on the level of the sunglasses of the umpire. Roundtree is displeased, but he returns to the dugout. And Hemingway back to his station in the infield. So, stolen base number 2, actually. Both in this inning for Johnson. Anthony Labita, the cleanup man, now up. Looking to continue his hot streak. Not after this curveball goes way upstairs and away. Anthony Labita, the third baseman, with 2 outs, a 2-0 count, and 1 runner on third. The pitch. Another curveball. That finds the plate for strike 1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Way outside. Ball 3. Beat up that big game on Thursday as the 3-1 pitch. Way outside, ball 4. Ian Askin struggled with control during that at-bat. He's been a little polarized today. 3 walks and 5 strikeouts. Labita walked for the second time. Now to the plate is Joey DiMucci, another guy who was walked today. Also in that second frame. So for the second time this game in consecutive innings, the Sharks have runners on both corners with 2 outs. First pitch to DiMucci, fouled right my way. I'm thankful for this netting. Genuinely think I could have made a play at that one. No balls, 1 strike to Joey DiMucci, the catcher. Caleb Johnson at third. Anthony Labita at first. Sharks lead Holly Springs 1-0. The pitch. Fastball outside the plate. Ball 1. The infield shade continues to stretch along the first base line. Now the 1-1. Outside. Jarek tried to frame it. The home plate umpire, Greg Stanley, didn't bite. Ian Askin, the tall 6'9" righty. His 2-1 barely bites the outside corner to even the count at 2-2. To the catcher, Joey DiMucci. 2 outs, top of the third. Johnson at third, Labita at first. Sharks looking to build upon their 1-0 lead. The pitch. Fouled off. We'll do it again. DiMucci stepped out of the box. Now he grinds his feet into it. The 2-2 pitch. Bounced foul along the first base line. A slight trot for Adam Carden, Wilmington's first base coach. Wilmington with 3 assistants to go with their manager, Russ Burrows. As the 2-2 pitch, way outside for ball 3. The 1 assistant who has not reported yet, that's Reese Sabo. The other 2, Adam Carden and Austin Skipper. Full count, 2 outs, runners on both corners. Upstairs, ball 4. So DiMucci and Labita both walked back-to-back in back-to-back innings. So the bases are loaded. Johnson at third, Labita at second, DiMucci at first. 2 outs, top of the third. Sharks lead 1-0. Here's Cam Hassert. In his second year out in Wilmington. The pitch. This one's hit out to right field and caught in shallow right field by Newsome. So the Sharks leave 3 stranded. They still lead 1-0. Bottom of the third coming up next. You're listening to Sharks Baseball on the Wilmington Sharks Audio Network.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Your family is your legacy. Planning for a natural disaster will make sure you're all safe. Visit ready.gov/plan today for the tools and tips you need to protect that legacy. That's ready.gov/plan. A message brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed.
Bottom of the third, Sharks lead Salamanders 1-0. Aubrey Smith back on the mound for Wilmington. Now to the plate is Miles Newsome. First pitch he sees, he swings and misses. Newsome just completed his freshman season at Brown, an Ivy League man. As the 0-1 pitch, outside and down. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's Smith. This one laced foul along the third base line. Check that first base line. Both teams with their bullpens out in right field. As the breaking ball comes in, strike 3. Aubrey Smith, his first strikeout of the season. Now to the plate is Andrew Opada, the center fielder. The 9th spot in this Salamander order. First pitch skims the outside of the plate for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike to Opada. Aubrey Smith is not allowed to run yet. Fastball down Broadway for strike 2. Smith takes a deep breath on the mound. Up at the count, 0-2, the pitch. That one drifts outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Opada. Bottom of the third inning in Holly Springs. Sharks, they have a 1-0 lead. Now the 1-2. Bouncer right to the mitt of Smith. Underhand throw to Bant. Out number 2. So the lineup card flips. Elijah Dickerson, the Towson graduate student, back to the plate for the second time this afternoon. I guess it's evening. These long summer days, the sun just doesn't seem to set. As the first pitch is hit high out to right field. Tracking it down is Rothenhausler, making the catch 5 feet in front of the warning track for out number 3. A 1-2-3 inning for Aubrey Smith. Fourth inning coming up next. Sharks lead 1-0.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org.
Top of the fourth inning. Sharks on the road in Holly Springs with a 1-0 lead over the 2-2 Salamanders. The Sharks have won both of their Coastal Plain League games to start this season. An 8-1 win on Thursday in this very ballpark. And then a Saturday win at the Shark Tank against the Greenville Yard Gnomes. Now to the plate is Jay Bant, the first baseman from Monmouth. So has completed his junior season there. His first pitch he sees way outside and into the backdrop. It's been an issue with Ian Askin today. He just continues to sail that fastball, or maybe it was the breaking ball that he just can't seem to complete his grip onto. Seen a lot of pitches just fly away on the outside of the plate. So it's a 1-0 count to Bant. Next pitch, fouled hard into the netting. And a barehanded catch made by one of the Salamanders in the dugout. So Bant, 27 games his freshman campaign, hit .215. Sophomore season, 28 games. As the 1-1 pitch, this is hit out to left field grass. Making the catch is Lyons, the shortstop, out number 1. Bant, really good year in 2023, hit .281, hit .250 this past season. But he goes down with a little blooper into the mitt of the shortstop. Now Max Tauchik back up to hit. First pitch he sees fouled into the dirt for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Top of the fourth. Sharks lead 1-0. Ian Askin, the starter, number 47. His next pitch also fouled backwards. Salamanders. Little amphibious creatures. They're 2-2 on the season. The 0-2 finds the plate for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Max Tauchik, this time looking.
Now batting, number 1, Jason Cully.
Now to the plate is Jason Cully, the center fielder from Wilmington, North Carolina. He might be seeing a different pitcher as the infield comes in. Fist bumps all around for him. There'll be a pitching change. 2 outs. Top of the fourth. Sharks lead 1-0. You're watching Coastal Plain League Baseball on the Wilmington Sharks Audio Network.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Your family is your legacy. Planning for a natural disaster will make sure you're all safe. Visit ready.gov/plan today.
Still top of the fourth. Jason Culley up to bat now against a new arm. That's the lefty Jason Culley. Oh, look at this, a submarine thrower. You don't see that very often. First time I've actually got to call one. Honestly, caught me off guard. A submarine thrower is a pitcher who releases the ball like below the hip. And Culley lines this one foul. 0-2 is the count to the Sharks center fielder. Coffin, sophomore from Penn State. Now the 0-2, swing and a foul ball. Jacob Coffin with no stats this past season with the Nittany Lions. His sophomore campaign, 5 appearances, 5.00 ERA, and 9 innings pitched. Now the 0-2 pitch to Culley. Inside, ball 1. Makes sense why the manager, Brian Roundtree, would make the pitching change, remove the righty Askin for the lefty, who releases an upstairs fastball for ball 2. Coffin actually from Apex, North Carolina. Did another one of those Power 5 guys I was speaking about as the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Jason Culley, confused by the submarine. First time the Sharks don't get a base runner. Bottom of the fourth coming up next. Sharks lead 1-0 on the Wilmington Sharks Audio Network.
You let him try violin because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Your family is your legacy. Planning for a natural disaster will make sure you're all safe. Visit ready.gov/plan today for the tools and tips you need to protect that legacy. That's ready.gov/plan. A message brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Bottom of the fourth, Sharks lead 1-0 against the Salamanders. Aubrey Smith back on the bump for his 4th inning of his CPL debut. First time on the mound in 2024. First pitch. Heater finds the plate for strike one against Jackson Dunlap, the left fielder. Now the 0-1, breaking ball down low and away for ball one. Spoke with Smith before the game in the locker room. Now the 1-1 pitch. Finds the plate, strike two. Honestly, disrespectful to call it a locker room. They do have a true clubhouse here in Ting Stadium. Beautiful ballpark. And Smith, from the state of North Carolina, it's the 1-2 pitch to Dunlap, is driven right up the middle for a base hit. No, Hassard gloves it, throw to first. Out number one. Cam Hassard just flew in out of nowhere. Retrieved that ball to eliminate Jackson Dunlap. So Smith, from the state of North Carolina, from Leland, just outside of Wilmington, went to South Brunswick High School as the first pitch to Jelic, lifted out to left field. Making the catch with one hand is Powell, out number two. So at South Brunswick, he made the state championship game. And he actually played right here in Holly Springs. So he said he's played in this ballpark a handful of times. He's used to the unusual turf mound, and he's not really a fan of it. But that being said, he is familiar. 2 away for Michael Quinones, the first baseman. First pitch. Curveball finds the zone, strike one. Sharks lead Salamanders 1-0. 0-1 is the pitch. Here it is. This one driven right above the glove of Caleb Johnson at second. Rolls into right field for a base hit. Third hit of the game for the Salamanders. Still yet to get a runner towards the home plate. And now Trenton Lyons up to hit. First pitch to Lyons. Bounces in front of home plate for ball one. Smith takes a deep breath on the mound. Now the 1-0. Trenton Lyons from Memphis, Tennessee. Played 21 games for Ole Miss. So now the 2-0. Dashes inside for ball three. 3 balls, no strikes to the shortstop Lyons, who has a runner at first. That's Michael Quinones off of his base hit. Sharks lead Salamanders 1-0. Smith unleashes a pitch. Driven right past first base. That's a base hit. And the runner holds up at second. For the first time this game, either team gets back-to-back singles. And now Austin Skipper comes out of the dugout to have some words with Smith. The infield comes in. Skipper get to make the official point to the bullpen. Looks like he'll stay in for the time being as they exchange words on the mound meeting. So Lyons, the man who just had that base hit, a really good year with Ole Miss. Hit .263 in 21 games, 7 of which were starts. And the SEC is not a conference that's very easy to succeed in. The Rebels 27 and 29 this past season. The Division I NCAA baseball tournament bracket just recently unveiled. The top 3 teams were all in the SEC. Just goes to show how good that conference is in baseball. Now to the plate is Cole McCullum with 2 outs and 2 runners on for the Salamanders. Smith. This pitch is lifted out in foul territory. Trying to find it is Bant. And he makes the catch for out number 3. Salamanders get 2 on. Can't bring them home. They're still scoreless. Sharks have 1 run. 5th inning coming up next on the Wilmington Sharks Audio Network.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Your family is your legacy.
Top of the 5th inning. Sharks versus Salamanders. Wilmington with a 1-0 lead. The submarine thrower, Jacob Coffin, back in. As a bunt attempt by Connor Powell flies off foul. Powell 0 for 2 on the day. Struck out swinging in the 1st and 3rd innings. This time he's facing a different pitcher. The 0-1 pitch. Another bunt attempt by Powell that's pulled backwards. Now the Sharks pitching coach, not pitching coach, they're just coaching staff in general, certainly telling the guys to bunt against this pitcher. As Cully tried in the previous inning. As a breaking ball flies inside for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Jacob Coffin, the first reliever used by either team this game. Now the pitch, that finds the plate for strike 2. Definitely a deliberate decision to put Coffin in. As the 2-2 pitch lifted foul above the press box. In this situation, he came in to record the last out of the last inning, and that was Jason Cully, who's hitting 9th in the order. He's a lefty. And then Connor Powell and Caleb Johnson, who are hitting 1st and 2nd, also lefties. Now the 2-2. This one's hit out to right field. It will drop for a base hit into the glove of the center fielder, Opada. Connor Powell gets on base for the first time this evening.
Now batting number 8, Caleb Johnson.
Once again, Connor Powell, voted by the fans as 2nd in the Coastal Plain League in the preseason for players in which the fans want to watch. He said he's thankful for the faithful Wilmington Sharks fans for voting him there. His first pitch to Johnson. This one's driven in the gap in second base, or past the second baseman. So back-to-back base knocks for Wilmington. Powell at first, Johnson, or Powell at second, Johnson at first. So Powell said that adds a little pressure at the start of the season, but he thinks it's going to die down. Now a righty to hit against the lefty. That's Jack Rothenhausler. He's kind of struggled today. A ground out and a fly out. But he has 2 runners on, no outs. Sharks with a 1-0 lead in the top of the 5th. The pitch. Finds the plate, strike 1. That's Powell at second, Johnson at first, both with some wheels. There's the 0-1 to the right fielder. Chopped foul along the third base line. No balls, 2 strikes. Rothenhausler. The pitch from Coffin. Softly hit ground ball towards the shortstop. Both runners advance. But Rothenhausler is retired. 6-3 is the ground out. Fortunately for the Sharks, Johnson and Powell get a great leap, so they can both advance safely. So Powell's at third, Johnson's at second, Anthony Labita now up to hit. Now there's 1 out in the top of the 5th. Jacob Coffin looking over at Powell at third. Submarine release. Finds the outside part of the plate for strike 1. Coffin from Penn State, his 0-1 pitch. Labita chased the upstairs heater. He's now down the count, 0-2. Labita spits on towards the fake turf dirt. Labita from Pace University in New York. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Anthony Labita taps the bat twice as he walks back to the dugout. First time he's retired today. He's now 0 for 1 after walking in his previous 2 plate appearances. Now Joey DiMucci, the catcher, he's up to hit. He's also 0 for 0 with 2 walks. Powell and Johnson on. First pitch outside and low for ball 1. Connor Powell scored yesterday on a wild pitch in a game where he had 2 stolen bases. Johnson has 2 stolen bases today as the 1-0 pitch to DiMucci fouled into the backdrop. DiMucci steps out, takes a practice hack, smacks his cleats twice with his black bat. 1-1 is the count. Powell at third, Johnson at second. Sharks lead 1-0 at top of the 5th. The 1-1 pitch. Just outside. It's just so difficult, even for me as a broadcaster, to locate these submarine throws by Coffin. And I can't even imagine what it's like as a hitter. 2 balls, 1 strike. Coffin's pitch, that's way outside, ball 3. No doubt about that one. Coffin with a blonde curly mullet flowing out of his cap. Let that be a helmet, actually. He's up the count, 3 balls to 1 strike. The delivery, down low, ball 4. Bases loaded for the Sharks. There are 2 outs. The Sharks also had the bases loaded in the 3rd inning with 2 outs. And it was also Cam Hassert, who's hitting now, who lined out in that plate appearance. He's 0 for 2 today. But a base hit here would be huge for the Sharks, who are looking to build upon their 1-0 lead. Powell at third, Johnson at second, DiMucci at first. The first pitch to Hassert, finds the plate, strike 1. 0 is the count to the Villanova shortstop. Big white Nike swooshes on his black shoes. The 0-1, way outside, ball 1. Lines of shade strung across the field now as the sky begins to dim. The 1-1. This one's hit into the glove, into the dirt of the third baseman, in front of the third baseman. And it's an infield single for Cam Hassert. The third baseman, Nedry, almost got it in his mitt. Instead, found the dirt, and Johnson slid in safely. So Sharks, they now lead 2-0 in the top of the fifth. Hassert now at first. DiMucci goes to second. Johnson to third, and Powell scores. Now Jay Bant, the first baseman. First pitch he sees, fouled. Coffin nods his head. The 0-1 pitch, bounced foul. Jay Bant, the Wilmington first baseman, down the count. 0-2. 2 outs, bases loaded. Johnson at third, DiMucci at second, Hassert at first. Sharks with a 2-0 lead. Coffin nods, unleashes the pitch, fouled. And I'll tell you, when a foul ball hits the roof of this ballpark, it's loud. Still no balls, 2 strikes to Bant. 2 outs in the top of the fifth. Here's the pitch. Another foul ball. Bant just can't get the timing right off of these Coffin pitches. And he's just too late on him, but he's staying alive. Still a 0-2 count. Here's Coffin. Way upstairs, ball 1. One-two is the count to Jay Bant. Jacob Coffin, the sophomore on the mound. Here's the 1-2. Bouncer in the infield, gloved by Coffin. Turn around, throw over to first. They're in time. Out number 3. Not before Cam Hassert could drive in a run. Wilmington, they lead 2-0. Leave the bases loaded, though. Bottom of the fifth, coming up next. You're watching the Wilmington Sharks Audio Network.
Smokey the Bear. Then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful, it's the least that you can do.
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com. And remember,
only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
I'm Scarlett Johansson. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. You can join the movement to end hunger by donating, volunteering, and advocating. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Bottom of the fifth here in Holly Springs. Sharks added another run in the top of this inning. They now lead 2-0. And a new pitcher on the mound for Wilmington. Looks like that's Ethan Atkinson, one of those Belmont Abbey guys on this roster. Check that. Let that be Jacksonville State guys. His college shortstop playing second today. That's Caleb Johnson. Speaking of shortstops, Cam Hassert reportedly entered the transfer portal. It's just another aspect to summer baseball, modern college summer baseball. These guys, they've got a lot to prove. Of course, they're looking to build their repertoire for the professional level. But now they're trying to impress college coaches in the portal. So, as if they didn't have enough incentive to play well, they have even more. First pitch to Nedry. Third base umpire Robert Hemingway says he didn't swing. Nedry, 0 for 1 on the day. Grounded out to short in the second. 1-0 pitch. Fouled off. Barehanded catch made by the man on deck, Miles Newsome, after it rattled off the roof. Next pitch. Fastball outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike to the Holly Springs third baseman. Sharks with a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the fifth inning. Game 3 of their Coastal Plain League season. Next pitch. Hit high out to left field. Tracking it down is Connor Powell on the run. Makes the catch. Out number 1. And F7 to start this game. Now Miles Newsome, the second baseman, up to hit. Went down swinging. So a really good way to start the season for Aubrey Smith. You know, the guy had some struggles his freshman season at UNC Wilmington. As this pitch fouled off. And then he played in the Appalachian League. And he said, wow, it was a really big adjustment going from high school to college and then to summer ball. As the 0-1 pitch downstairs and away to Miles Newsome. And then he redshirted this past year with the Seahawks. And then he comes out here. He throws 4 shutout innings. Allows 4 hits. As the 1-1 pitch. Bat breaks. Ball goes foul. So he allows 4 hits. Doesn't walk any. Of course, the main stat there are the no runs allowed. And he had one strikeout. So you can't ask for a better outing than that. Especially in the Coastal Plain League, these summer leagues, you don't see pitchers going beyond 5 innings pitched. 4 innings pitched is very good as well. So Smith, a great way to start the game for the Sharks. And the offense, they've built a 2-run lead. And here's Atkinson looking to keep it that way. There's out number 2 as Miles Newsome goes down swinging.
Now batting, sophomore in North Georgia, number 28, Andrews Ovada.
Ethan Atkinson from Jacksonville State. Once again, that's in Alabama, not Jacksonville, North Carolina, or Jacksonville, Florida. First pitch, strike one, fastball to Andrew Opata. That being said, Atkinson is from Florida, from Chipley, Florida, up there in the Panhandle, not too far from Alabama, actually. As the 0-1 pitch, bounced into the dirt. Strike two. Swung and bounced into the dirt. Cool geography here in Holly Springs. The right field wall is kind of carved out of a hill. Now the 0-2 fouled off. No balls, 2 strikes to Andrew Opata. 2 outs. Sharks lead 2-0. Atkinson has started this inning, going against the bottom third of this order. Now the 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Ethan Atkinson came out with the heat in a 1-2-3 inning. 6th inning coming up next. Sharks lead 2-0. You're listening to Coastal Plain League Baseball on the Wilmington Sharks Audio Network.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Your family is your legacy. Planning for a natural disaster will make sure you're all safe. Visit ready.gov/plan today for the tools and tips you need to protect that legacy. That's ready.gov/plan. A message brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Top of the 6th, Sharks lead 2-0 over Holly Springs. Pinch hitter in the game now. It's Mason Baronian. Replacing Max Tochik. First pitch he sees an outside fastball for ball 1. So, Tochik, not an ideal night. 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. Next pitch to Baronian. Down into the zone for strike 1. 1-1 count to the Pace University infielder who lines one. And funny little interaction here. That one flies past the face of the first base coach, Adam Carden. And he puts his hands up like, hey, what's up, man? 1-2 is the count to Baronian. And it slips out of the hand of the pitcher, Coffin, into the dirt. Maybe even into the infield grass. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Baronian leading off this 6th inning. Two away. Ball 3. Full count now to Baronian. This one hit right towards the shortstop. Throw over to first. Is it in time? No. Running off the bag was Quinones. He tried to make the tag. And Baronian with an infield single. Good job there by the pinch hitter.
Now batting number 1, Jason Cully.
So the leadoff man is on. Now Jason Cully, the left-handed hitter, against the left-handed pitcher, Jacob Coffin, who started his evening against him. And here's a bunt into the dirt. Cully running over to first. There in time. A successful bunt from Jason Cully. And Baronian advances to second. And that's a very considerable part of Sharks practices at Bacardi Field at Legion Stadium. It's just practicing bunts. It's a big part of Russ Burrow's coaching philosophy. It's also very helpful for at the Shark Tank, where there's no dirt along the base paths. As here's another bunt, which drops. Cully's tagged on the base paths, and Powell runs over to first with a fielder's choice. So Baronian, he advances to third, though. Off the fielder's choice bunt, I guess. So that's out number one. And Caleb Johnson, the second baseman, up to hit. Baronian at third. Powell at first. Once again, there's one out, top of the sixth. Sharks lead 2-0. Coffin's pitch. Hit high out to center field. This could be a sacrifice fly. Making the catch is the center fielder, Opata, and dashing home is Mason Baronian. Sharks now lead 3-0. So good day for Caleb Johnson. 2 for 2. 2 stolen bases. An RBI. There are now 2 outs in this 6th inning. And up to hit is Jack Rothenhausler, the right fielder. He's had a tough day. He's 0 for 3. 2 groundouts and a flyout. Coffin's pitch. Hit in the gap past the third baseman. Holding up at first is Powell. And there's Jack Rothenhausler. Now Powell to second, Rothenhausler at first. Up to hit is the cleanup man, Anthony Labita. His third straight time with at least 2 runners on base. Yet to record an RBI, but he has had a quality day. 2 walks, a run, did go down swinging. And it looks like that'll be it for the reliever, Jacob Coffin. Sharks still with 2 runners on, 2 outs, top of the 6th. Wilmington leads 3-0. We'll take a pause for the pitching change.
You let him try violin because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Your family is your legacy. Planning for a natural disaster will make sure you're all safe. Visit ready.gov/plan today for the tools and tips you need to protect that legacy. That's ready.gov/plan. A message brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
My mom has taken up going to the park. to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Still top of the 6th, 2 outs, new pitcher. Salamanders go Jacob for Jacob, this time Cabanas. 2 runners on, the pitch to Labita. Breaking ball finds the plate for strike 1. The 2 runners on base right now. That's Roth and Hausler at first, Powell at second. Labita, the lefty with a tall stance. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Off goes Johnson, and here's a single, or at least one. Out to center field, going back on the wall. Jogging is Johnson. That's a double for Anthony Labita. Holds him at second. Don't know why I called that a single initially. A 2-run double for Anthony Labita. And he continues his red-hot streak. And the Sharks now lead 5-0. Anthony Labita. A temporary contract. Putting the world on notice. So the cleanup man cleans up. Now to hit is Joey DiMucci, the catcher, with Labita at second. And he hits this one high out to right field, and it flies foul. So Labita is now 1 for 2 with 2 walks, a run scored, and a double, 2 runs driven in. Those runners with the responsibility of Jacob Coffins. Pitch down low. For ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to DiMucci, the pitcher, Jacob Cabanas, from Belmont College. 6'2", concluded his junior season. He's from nearby Raleigh. 1-1 is the count. His pitch bounces in front of home plate for ball 2. Labita strides back over. In his lone season at Belmont, 8 appearances this spring, 4.24 ERA, 17 innings pitched, 9 runs, 8 earned, 3 walks to 10 Ks. Here's the 2-1. Right down the pipe for strike 2. It's a 2-2 count to the Sharks catcher, Joey DiMucci, who has a runner at second. That's Anthony Labita following his 2-run double. Sharks have built their lead up to 5-0. The 2-2. Outside, bounces to the dirt. Labita sliding to third. Safe. A stolen base for Anthony Labita. He's stuffing the stat sheet. That's the 3rd stolen base of the game for Wilmington. Both of the previous ones were from Johnson. It's Caleb Johnson. It's a full count to Joey DiMucci. 2 outs. The pitch. Bouncer in the infield. Running home is Labita, charging, making the throw to first. Out number 3. So the Sharks leave one stranded. Not before they can bring 3 home. They lead 5-0. Bottom of the 6th, coming up next, you're watching Wilmington Sharks Baseball on the Wilmington Sharks Audio Network.
Smokey the Bear. Then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful, it's the least that you can do.
Don't play with matches, don't play with fire.
After
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com. And remember,
only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
I'm Scarlett Johansson. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. You can join the movement to end hunger by donating, volunteering, and advocating. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Back on the road in Holly Springs, I'm Lance Williams on the Wilmington Sharks Audio Network. Speaking of the Sharks, a big 3-run sixth inning has given them a 5-0 lead in the bottom of the sixth. And now at the top of the order, Elijah Dickerson up to hit against Ethan Atkinson, the lefty. His pitch hit hard to Caleb Johnson at second, 2 steps forward, makes the throw over to Bant, out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 away. Good game thus far for Wilmington. First pitch to Dunlap. Down the middle for strike 1. Atkinson, before this season with the Jacksonville State Gamecocks, 2 years with Calhoun Community College. Now the 0-1. Down low for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to the left fielder Jackson Dunlap. 1 away in the bottom of the 6th inning. Sharks with a 5-0 lead. The 1-1. Inside. 2-1 is the count. Dunlap today. 1 for 2 on the night. Singled and got all the way over to third in the first. Then he grounded out in the 4th inning. Now the pitch. Hit out to center field. Tracking it is Cully. And he makes the catch on the run. No, it rolls out of the mitt. That'll be probably ruled a base hit for Dunlap. Jason Cully. Lots of speed. He sprinted into shallow center, but it slipped out of his glove. Not an easy play to make for the fielder, so should be ruled a base hit. And Jason Jellick now up to hit. 1 out, Sharks lead 5-0 over the Salamanders. First pitch to Jellick, finds the zone for strike 1. Jason Jellick, over 2 on the day with a ground out and a fly out. Jackson Dunlap, the runner at first. Both teams with a runner with a hitter with 2 hits now. Wilmington's being Johnson as the 0-1 pitch. Locates the zone again. Strike 2. The 0-2 pitch, check swing, didn't go around. The ball bounces out of the mitt of DiMucci. 1-2 is the count now. Salamanders 2-2 on the season. One of their losses came last Thursday when the Sharks came right here. The 1-2, outside ball 2. You know, the Sharks, they had a 5-0 lead in the bottom of the 6th inning last game, too, as this ball is bounced foul. So the Sharks, they had a 5-0 lead in the bottom of the 6th inning on Thursday, although all 5 of their runs at that point came in that 6th inning, the top of the inning. The Sharks' runs today a little more spread out, 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th. Salamanders did score in that 6th inning. That was their... Oh, what a big swing and a miss. Strike 3. 3rd strikeout for Ethan Atkinson. Jellick goes down swinging big time. So the Salamanders, they scored in that 6th inning, just 1 run. That was their only run that game. Wilmington went on to plate 1 in the 7th and 2 in the 8th to create that final score of 8-1. Now the first pitch to Quinones, fouled backwards. No balls, 1 strike to Michael Quinones, the first baseman. He's 0 for 1 today, lined out in the 1st, base hit in the 4th. 0-1 pitch, fastball outside for ball 1. The runner at first, that's Jackson Dunlap, who had a base hit earlier in this frame. The lefty, Ethan Atkinson, he's looked good out of the bullpen. Looks over at the runner at first, now the 1-1. Check swing. Didn't go. 2 balls, 1 strike now. The 2-1 delivery. Hit high behind home plate. This should be playable for DiMucci. Nope. Right above me. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. DiMucci lost the face mask as if he was ready to make a play. Instead, the ball leaves the field of play. Not really any wind here in Holly Springs, as it's a 2-2 count. To Quinones, 2 outs, a runner at first. Sharks lead 5-0. Atkinson fouled backwards. You have to wonder if the topography or the terrain plays a role in that wind here, or their lack of wind here. Maybe it's just today. I don't know. The lights are on at Ting Stadium as the sun continues to set on this summer evening. Still, 2 balls, 2 strike count to Michael Quinones, the left-handed hitter, who's playing first base today. 2 outs, the runner at first. That's Dunlap. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Ethan Atkinson. 4 Ks in 2 innings. 7th inning coming up next. Sharks with a 5-0 lead. You're listening to Wilmington Sharks Baseball on YouTube.
You let him try violin because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old. But I am a camping influencer. You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Your family is your legacy. Planning for a natural disaster will make sure you're all safe. Visit ready.gov/plan today for the tools and tips you need to protect that legacy. That's ready.gov/plan. A message brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Back in Holly Springs, the Sharks still the 5-run lead over the Salamanders.
Leading off for the Sharks, number 2, Cam Hasser.
Jacob Cabanas, the second arm used out of the bullpen by the Holly Springs manager, Brian Roundtree. And Cam Hasser at the shortstop, up to hit now. First pitch he sees way outside for ball 1. Hasser, the productive day today. As the 1-0 pitch comes in and it's hit high out to left field. Tracing it is Dunlap. Bounces off the wall. Hasser dashing to second. And he slides in safely. I said he had a good night thus far. Just made it even better. Second extra base hit for the Sharks today. With that, he's now 2 for 4 with a runner batted in. That RBI came in the 5th inning. Bases loaded infield single. Something you don't see too often, especially with 2 outs. And Jay Bant now up to hit. No outs. Top of the 7th. Sharks lead 5-0. Cam Hasser with Wilmington's 10th base hit of the day. First pitch to Bant. Line foul. Bant 1 for 3 on the day. Base hit in the 2nd. A line out and a ground out that came in the 5th. Jacob Cabanas, the reliever, the bright white cleats. Now the 0-1, big swing and a miss as Jay Bant drops to his left knee. No balls, 2 strikes now to Bant, the Wilmington first baseman. The 0-2 pitch now for Bant. Check swing. Did he go? The third base umpire, Hemingway, says no after being checked by the first base umpire, Greg Stanley. And something to note with that double by Hasser, that was a high fly ball out to left center field. And with a metal bat, that is most certainly out of here. But that's part of summer baseball, adjusting to the pine. This is the 1-2 pitch now to Bant. Hit on the line, on the first base line, stayed foul. Looked like it was fair. The home plate umpire says it was foul. Shark friendly call. Now Jay Bant stays alive at the plate. 1-2 is the count to the Wilmington first baseman. The Sharks with a 5-0 lead over the Salamanders. In the top of the 7th inning, still no outs. Hasser, the speedy shortstop. He's at second, and he takes off in the 1-2 pitch. This one's hit right towards the second baseman. The 4-3 ground out for Bant, but Hasser, a big-time jump, and he gets over to third. Heads up base running by Hasser. And now Mason Baronian, the pinch hitter, is back in the game for the Sharks. First pitch he sees. Fastball finds the plate. Strike 1. Baronian replaced the designated hitter Tauchik, so he's not been in the field. As the 0-1 pitch comes in, breaking ball. Inside towards Baronian. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jacob Cabanas, the reliever for Holly Springs. His pitch fouled off. Mason Baronian from Rivervale, New Jersey. The 1-2. Slider outside. Evens the count at 2-2. Cam Hassert at third base, the light blue mitt on his left hand. Trying to be the 6th run for the Sharks. Baronian, the 2-2 pitch, check swing. Did he go around? Appeal to the first base umpire, Mishaw, who says no. So it's a full count now to Baronian, the designated hitter. With a runner at third in Hassert, with 1 out in the top of the 7th inning. And the Sharks, the commanding 5-0 lead. The pitch, hit high out to right field. Tracing it is Dickerson in foul territory, and it drops. It's a very difficult play to make for the right fielder, especially with the unique field dimensions of Ting Stadium. So it's hard to gauge from my vantage point. But probably there's a part of the stadium that just bulges out at a 90-degree angle along the third baseline. As the 3-2 pitch, fouled along third baseline. So it's like in the right field corner, there's probably at least 30 feet in which there's a 5-foot difference from warning track to foul line. And so there wasn't a direct path for the right fielder to catch that foul ball. Still a full count to Baronian, who watches the fastball go outside for ball 4. And he happily runs over to first. He's now 1 for 1 on the day with a walk and a run scored. Productive day for Baronian. And to the plate now is Jason Cully. Struck out swinging in the 2nd and 4th innings, and then landed a bunt in the 6th to get on base. Runners on both corners. That's Hassert at third, Baronian at first. The left-handed hitter, Cully. His pitch, the pitch he sees, is down low for ball 1. Down low over the plate. 1 out, top of the 7th. Sharks lead 5-0. Cabanas. Here's Cully pulling back another bunt, but off goes Baronian. And an easy stolen base as the Salamanders defense is just sleeping. And then loud cheers from the dugout. I think it might have been his teammate Labita as the 1-1 pitch comes inside and low. Hard to tell who. I see Labita and Josh Miller hanging out on the far side of the Sharks dugout. 2 Pace University guys. It's the 2-1 pitch. Fouled backwards. Make it 2-2. They're having a good time in that dugout. 3 of the 4 Pace University players on the Sharks roster right now. Brendan McCann, the pitcher, the other one. 2-2 is the count to Cully. 2 runners in scoring position. The pitch upstairs, ball 3. Jacob Cabanas. Not an ideal 7th inning. Started off with a double, then a ground out, then a walk. But allowed a stolen base with ease. Full count to Cully. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Cully goes down swinging for the 3rd time tonight. So the Salamanders get out number 2. The Sharks still with 2 runners on. That's Hassert at third. And Baronian, he's at second. The top of the order, and Connor Powell is up to the plate now. The pitch dashes over the middle for strike 1. Powell, 1 for 4 today, with 2 runs scored, 2 strikeouts, fielder's choice, and a base hit. Now the 0-1 pitch, curveball upstairs and away. Hassert, hands on his hips at third, talking to Russ Burrows, the manager. Baronian with a 20-foot lead off of second. 1-1 is the count. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. Connor Powell doesn't hit for power, but he took a home run hack there. Instead, he's more of a contact guy, get on base and show the velocity. The 1-2. This one's hit out to shallow left field. Tracking it down is Dunlap, making the catch for out number 3. Sharks get 2 runners in scoring position. Can't bring them home. We'll stretch it out. Sharks lead 5-0.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Your family is your legacy. Planning for a natural disaster will make sure you're all safe. Visit ready.gov/plan today for the tools and tips you need to protect that legacy. That's ready.gov/plan. A message brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Feeling pliable out of the stretch. New pitcher for the Sharks. That's Nick Noga.
Leading off for the Salamanders, freshman in office, number 37, Trenton Lyons.
Trenton Lyons, the 5-hole hitter, up to hit now. Sharks with a 5-run lead over Holly Springs. That's 5 runs to none. Sharks with 10 hits. Salamanders with 5. Both teams yet to allow an error or committed an error. And so Ethan Atkinson concludes his outing. An excellent outing there. Allowed just 1 hit, 2 shutout innings, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. First pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 1. Noga comes out with some heat. 2 Lions. Next pitch, way outside and high. Ball 1. Now to Trenton Lyons. The Ole Miss Rebel, 1 for 2 today. An unassisted ground out to first in the second. And a base hit in the fourth. Now the 1-1 outside, ball 2. Check that. Let that be Kyle Laser on the mound. There's the 2-1 pitch inside, ball 3. Yeah, I knew Noka wasn't activated today, but just some of the jersey numbers can get mixed around. Yes, that's Kyle Laser, the righty from Westchester University. As the 3-1 pitch, curveball outside, ball 4.
Now batting redshirt senior Rebecca Nazarene, number 33, Cole McCollum.
First pitch is outside out to Cole McCullum, the designated hitter. 1 for 2 today as well. A base hit in the second, a fly out in the 4th. Laser looks over at the runner at first. That's Lyons. Lyons takes off the 1-0. Up goes DiMucci, who throws it, and it gets past the glove of Johnson. Tracking it down is Cully in the outfield. So a stolen base for the Ole Miss guy. Two balls, no strike. The pitch, that's a strike. Bolted down the middle. Now the 2-1. Inside, did it hit him? Nope. A close ball 3. Three balls, 1 strike. The pitch hit out to right field. Will this drop? Drops right left of the first base line. Sliding in safely, or running in safely. Trenton Lyons, the Salamanders' first run of the day. An RBI base hit for Cole McCullum. Sharks still with a 5-1 lead, though. Might have woken up the Salamanders fans, though. With that, Robert Nedry up to hit now. Wilmington remains on top 5-1 against Holly Springs. Bottom of the 7th.
Your attention, please. Now bench running for the Salamanders, number 9, Caleb Carey. Now batting number 36, Robert Nedry.
And it's a pinch runner in the game for the Salamanders. That's Carey. Now up to hit is Robert Nedry. Here's Kyle Laser. Ultralight beams down the middle. Strike 1. No balls, 1 strike to Robert Nedry. Salamanders finally brought in a run this inning. Next pitch, curveball way outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Nedry. No outs. Bottom of the 7th. Wilmington remains on top, the 5-1 lead. Game 3 of their season. As Laser nods his head, now he unleashes a pitch as Nedry pulls back a bunt. The fastball goes inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Laser wanted to push him off the plate there, it looked like. Two 1 is the count. Laser nods his head and unleashes a pitch. below the knees. Ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike to the NC State freshman and the Salamanders' third baseman. The runner at first is Carey. Lasers 3-1. Finds the zone, strike 2. Full count now to the third baseman. Actually would have been the Sharks' 4th CPL game. Friday's contest at Morehead City, postponed or canceled due to rain. Now the payoff pitch, fouled off. Right into the lights above the Salamanders' dugout. Nothing shattered. Remains a full count to Nedry. With Carey at first, no outs, bottom of the 7th. Here's the pitch. Way inside, ball 4. Another pitch that was close to hitting the hitter. And so, first 3 batters for the Salamanders in the bottom of the 7th, they all reached safely. First it was Lyons who walked and stole second. And then a Cole McCullum base hit along the first baseline plated Lyons. He was replaced, McCullum being the designated hitter, replaced with Carey, the pinch runner. And now Robert Nedry was walked. There are 2 runners on in the bottom of the 7th. Sharks still lead the Salamanders 5-1 as a mound meeting commences. The entire infield. Still a long mound meeting. As a new pitcher takes the mound. We'll take a pause for the pitching change. You're listening to Sharks Baseball on the Wilmington Sharks Audio Network.
You let him try violin because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old. But I am a camping influencer. You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Your family is your legacy. Planning for a natural disaster will make sure you're all safe. Visit ready.gov/plan today for.
Still bottom of the 7th. New man on the mound. That's Bryson Jewell. With 2 runners on, no outs. Sharks lead 5-1. The runners, that's Lions at second. Check that. Let there be Carey at second and Nedry at first. First pitch, a fouled bunt by Miles Newsom. So not an ideal outing for Kyle Laser. Came in the bottom of the 7th, did not record a single out, so no innings pitched. They allowed 1 hit, walked 2, struck out none. Those were the 3 batters he faced. He's already allowed 1 run. These 2 runners would also be his responsibility. Jewell kicks his leg, now unleashes a pitch, downstairs, ball 1. 1-1 is the count to Newsom from Brown University. Bryson Jewell from Mars Hill University. Goes by BJ. His 2 initials, of course. Now the 1-1. Fouled. Another fouled bunt. Jewell played a couple games for the it's his third year of summer ball. Played for Atlanta of the Sun Belt League in 2021. Was with the Sharks. One contest last season. 3 innings pitched. He allowed 1 run. Kicks his leg. Now the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Newsom is retired. Bryson Jewell has played in both of the Sharks games this season. In the Holly Springs game on Thursday, 2/3 of an inning, 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, no strikeouts. Next pitch, down low. This one to Andrew Opata, center fielder. And then Jewell came into the game to record the final out of the 8th inning. And he did so, and he got the win. Next pitch, chin music for Opata. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out, 2 runners on still. That's Carey at second, the pinch runner, and Nedry at first. Both the responsibilities of the previous pitcher, Kyle Laser. Jewell started his career at Lee University as this pitch out of the mitt. Throw over to third, not in time. A wild pitch by Jewell advances both runners.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Now batting for the Salamanders. That's number 5, Chris Sadlowski.
And we have a pinch hitter, Chris Sadlowski, announced late by the PA guy. 3 balls, no strikes. The pitch that finds the zone. Strike 1. Jewell started at Lee University. Now he plays at, or just concluded his career at Mars Hill University in North Carolina. The 3-1. Inside, ball 4, bases loaded. The Sharks were in complete command of this game going into the bottom of this inning. But now, the Salamanders, they've already plated 1. And they're definitely threatening now. With the bases loaded, 1 out, and the top of the order now up to hit in Elijah Dickerson. Jewell's pitch. Breaking ball finds the top half of the zone. Strike 1. Jewell, a unique pitching mechanic, kind of kicks his off leg. He's a right-handed pitcher. He kicks his left leg forward before he releases. There are no balls to 1 strike to Elijah Dickerson, the graduate student from Towson. He's 0 for 3 today, a ground out in the first, fly out to right in the third, and a ground out to second in the 6th. The runners on base, Carey at third, Nedry at second, Opata. Check that. Let that be Sadlowski at first. This pitch, grounded right to the shortstop. Hastert, underhand throw over to first. That's 2. Big time double play for the Sharks. Big time double play. Jewell pumping his chest. So the Salamanders, they load the bases. Only 1 run comes in, though. 8th inning coming up next. Sharks lead 5-1. You're listening to Coastal Plain League Baseball on the Wilmington Sharks Audio Network.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Your family is your legacy. Planning for a natural disaster will make sure you're all safe. Visit ready.gov/plan today for the tools and tips you need to protect that legacy. That's ready.gov/plan.
8th inning, Sharks 5-1 is their lead. Now up to hit is Caleb Johnson. First pitch he sees, an outside pitch for ball 1. Johnson, really nice second game as a Shark. First start as he takes a big hack and a miss. Actually, he fouled it. He's 2 for 2 today with 2 stolen bases plus a sacrifice fly to drive in a run. He's now in the count 1-1. To the pitcher, I believe this is still Cabanas. Stand corrected. Is this pitch? Outside breaking ball. Count 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Way inside. Johnson had to turn. 3 balls to 1 strike to Caleb Johnson. Hitting second in this order. A guy you'll see at the top of the order a lot as another inside fastball. That's ball 4. Johnson, just a lot of speed and someone you want to have on base.
Now batting number 31, Jack.
The cleanup guys behind him. Now, Jack Rothenhausler up to hit. Still no outs, top of the 8th. The pitch bounced foul towards the Salamanders dugout. No balls, 1 strike. Johnson at first. He just walked. Sharks with a 5-1 lead after the Salamanders threatened in the bottom of the 7th, loading the bases. The 1-0 pitch, or the 0-1 pitch, came inside to make it 1-1. After the Salamanders really threatened in that 7th inning, brought 6 to the dish, but only brought 1 home. It's the stat that matters for the Sharks, as Johnson checked at first with a sidearm throw made by Cabanas. The pitch. Hit high. Should land in the infield dirt. Underneath it is the second baseman making the catch. Almost falls over. That's Johnson. Check that. That's Newsom. Johnson, the second baseman for the Sharks, who's situated at first still.
Now batting number 36, Anthony Levine.
Now 1 out in the bottom of, or the top of the 8th inning. Anthony Labita broke this game open with a double in his last plate appearance. That's plated 2. First pitch is snubbed foul along the third base line. Johnson His right arm completely red, whether that be by his compression sleeve or sliding mitt. He loves to slide and he loves to steal. The 0-1. That's a slider. And it shifts outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out to Labita. Sharks lead 5-1. In the top of the 8th inning against Holly Springs. Looking to start this 2024 Coastal Plain League season with a 3-game winning streak. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Once again, the Wilmington Sharks, coming off of a Pettit Cup championship loss last season to the Lexington County Blowfish. It's a best-of-3 series in the championship. They won Game 1, dropped the next 2, as Johnson checked back at first. And a number of players on this team, returning faces: Connor Powell, Cam Hassert, Tanner Leonard, yet to report, Cade Granzow. Now the 1-2. Curveball outside, 2-2. And Russ Burrows, if you ask him about it, he'll say, you know what, we always have some guys who are returning. It's not exactly the same team. But Connor Powell, that was one of the reasons why he came back, as Labita takes a big hack and a miss. That's strike 3. Connor Powell said he wants to end on a different note. He said he didn't like how it ended last year. And how can you? You go up 1-0 on the Blowfish and drop the next 2. That's got to be heart-wrenching. So the Sharks' revenge tour started last Wednesday in an exhibition game against some high schoolers. Little experimental. As this ball is smacked right towards the third baseman, charging over to second. And he gets the throw over to retired Johnson. So a put out by Joey DiMucci. Bottom of the 8th coming up next. Sharks lead 5-1.
You let him try violin because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old. But I am a camping influencer. You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Your family is your legacy. Planning for a natural disaster will make sure you're all safe. Visit ready.gov/plan today for the tools and tips you need to protect that legacy. That's ready.gov/plan. A message brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Coming back in the bottom of the 8th, I'm Lance Williams on the Wilmington Sharks Audio Network. In fact, it's this YouTube channel's debut, and it's gone smoothly thus far. Maybe a couple issues with the PSAs, but nothing too serious. Not complain. And just excellent hospitality by Holly Springs. I have a whole press booth to myself. It's probably about 9 feet long. And it's really nice. And a new pitcher on the mound for Wilmington. That's Ryan DeWeese, one of a couple East Stroudsburg University Warriors on this team. The big 6'5", 245-pound righty with red cleats. He's a PA guy from Lincoln University. 2023 with the Warriors. Posted a 4.50 ERA, 2.1 record, 12 appearances, 5 of which were starts. Only 22 innings pitched there. Then a big-time workhorse this past spring. 3.52 ERA, 7-0 record, 13 appearances, all of which were starts, including 2 complete games. 61 in the 3rd innings pitched, 25 runs, 24 earned, 12 walks to 40 strikeouts. He was an excellent pitcher this spring. Definitely promising to see him on the mound for the Sharks. First pitch he deals to Dunlap is a strike. Wilmington with a 5-1 lead over Holly Springs, the Salamanders. Now the 0-1. Oh my goodness, beautiful break on that pitch. And finds the zone for strike 2. It's just a gorgeous slider. Here's the next pitch. This is a slider again, but fouled. Dunlap had the timing right on that one. And so, Bryson Jewell is this next pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 1 batter, 1 strikeout for Ryan DeWeese. So Jewell finished off the 7th inning that Laser started as the first pitch to Jelic down low for ball 1. So he finished off that inning. The strikeout, a walk, and a ground out. Now the 1-0. Curveball outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Jason Jelic, the catcher. Grounded out to third in the first. Flat out to left in the 4th. And a forward K in the 6th. Next pitch, downstairs, ball 3. Three balls, no strikes. Here's DeWeese. Fastball down the pipe as Jelic stood up completely straight with the bat to his side, basically. 3-0 was a hitter's count. Now it's 3-1. This pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. Jason Jelic gets his right fist, pounds his skull. How could I be so foolish, he thinks. Full count. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Jason Jelic was up 3 balls to none. Now he goes down swinging. Good start for Ryan DeWeese. Now to hit is Michael Quinones, the first baseman. First pitch he sees is a strike. How about Ryan DeWeese? Dealing. The 0-1. Down beneath the knees. The 1-1 pitch. Hit high out to left field. Backing down is Powell. Makes the catch in front of him. Out number 3. A 1-2-3 inning for the reliever, Ryan DeWeese. Bottom of the 8th. Coming up next, Sharks with a 5-1 lead. You're listening to Coastal Plain League Baseball on the Wilmington Sharks Audio Network.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless.
But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Bottom of the 8th, Sharks lead 5-1. Up to hit. Check that. Top of the 9th. Sorry for that confusion. I ended last inning incorrectly as well. It's the top of the 9th. Sharks up to hit in Cam Hassert. Recently joined the portal. 5-1 is the lead. The first pitch goes outside for ball 1. Jacob Cabanas still on the mound. Next pitch, slider. Finds the inside part of the plate for strike 1. Hassert 2 for 4 on the day with a double. And a run batted in. 1-1. The pitch. A high, hard hit ball. Foul along the first base line. And Hassert walks towards the on-deck circle. See what's going on here. Swaps his wood. Says he likes this one, gives a thumbs up. Now he goes up. And that's one of the big learning curves for these college players. Just deciding what bat they like. This bat they may like the weight. This bat they might like the grip. Got to compromise sometimes. Now the 1-2. Outside and outside of the glove of the catcher, Jelic. Check that. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The shortstop, Hassert. Jacob Cabanas. His pitch, way inside, ball 3. It's a full count to Cam Hassert. Looking for his 3rd hit of the day. And he fouls it back. Hat becomes twisted. Helmet becomes twisted. Steps out of the box to rearrange it. Smacks his cleats with the bat. The new bat. The 3-2 pitch. Bouncer towards the first baseman. Waves off the pitcher and he makes the tag. Out number 1. So, Cam Hassert likely finishes the day 2 for 5. As the Sharks with a 5-1 lead in the top of the 9th. 1 away. Up to hit now is Jay Bant. No, it's Hunter Herndon.
Please now hitting for the Sharks, number 32, Hunter Herndon.
And Hunter Herndon from Sewanee. Hometown of Chickamauga, Georgia. Right outside of Chattanooga. He started this season off really well. He's another one of those guys on a temporary contract just trying to prove himself as the new pitcher will come in. Cabanas. His night will be over. We'll take a brief pause for the pitching change. Still, top of the 9th, 1 out.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Back in Holly Springs, top of the 9th. New pitcher on the mound is actually the starting second baseman, Miles Newsome from Brown. And look at this. So Miles Newsome from Brown, from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Checking to see no pitching statistics in his lone season there. I'm looking at his LinkedIn. It's honestly a hobby of mine, looking at athletes' LinkedIn. He's actually an Eagle Scout. His first pitch he throws is outside into the dirt, as the head coach, Brian Roundtree, has essentially thrown in the towel here, putting the position player on the mound. And the 1-0 pitch, hammered out to center field. Going underneath it is Opada, making the catch for out number 2. So Herndon is retired in his lone plate appearance. So a lot of athletes have LinkedIns, but there's definitely a higher percentage of that in the Ivy Leagues. Accomplished athletes there, and really accomplished academics. Newsome, a business economics major. As the next pitch drifts outside to another pinch hitter, that's Baronian. He came in the game earlier. Just 1-for-1 with a walk and a run scored. And he hammers this one out to center field. Going underneath it is Opada again, out number 3. So, a good outing for the second baseman on the mound, Miles Newsome. He comes out and gets 2 outs. Sharks, they lead 5-1. Bottom of the 9th, coming up next against Holly Springs.
You let him try violin because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old. But I am a camping influencer. You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Your family is your legacy. Planning for a natural disaster will make sure you're all safe. Visit ready.gov/plan today for the tools and tips you need to protect that legacy. That's ready.gov/plan. A message brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Bottom of the 9th, Sharks. The 5-1 lead over Holly Springs.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Now pitching for the Sharks, number 44, Thomas Paxton.
New man on the mound for the Wilmington Sharks. That is Thomas Paxton, sporting number 44 tonight. He threw a shutout 9th inning on Saturday. This is a guy who's just coming off of his freshman season at Belmont Abbey, and he's just been phenomenal from what he's displayed. He had a 4.62 ERA, 22 appearances at Belmont. He was their closer. Received 3 saves. And I talked to him. I said, dude, you just came off your freshman year. You're a young guy. You went into a high-pressure situation on Saturday. Opening night for the Coastal Plain League season. Is there any pressure there? I said, no, not really. That's just what I do. And I said, is there any... How do you feel with that level of respect that you have being a closer at that young stage in your career? And he said, yeah, it's cool. I enjoyed how I'm getting that respect, but it's really just what he does. And here he is for the bottom of the 9th in this inning, looking to close the book on this game. Up to hit is Trenton Lyons. First pitch to him, swing and a miss, strike one. The 0-1 pitch, Paxton. Swing and a miss. Can't touch the heat. Can't handle it either. So Ryan DeWeese, the previous reliever, his night is also over. 1-2-3, 8th inning. With that, so 1 shutout, no walks, no runs, no hits, no nothing. There are 2 strikeouts. There's 2 strikes to no balls to Lyons. Here's the pitch. Hit high but foul. This could be playable along the first base line. And making the catch is Labita right in front of the wall. Out number 1. One away in the bottom of the 9th. Up to hit now is Cole Carey. Came in as a pinch runner in the previous inning. Sorry, the 7th. As a breaking ball comes in for strike 1. Paxton's fastball is what really stands out, but there was a slider. The first pitch to Carey. Carey in his first at-bat. Sharks lead 5-1 over the Salamanders. Next pitch, fouled backwards. Springs off the netting above the Sharks dugout. And it's Alex Fitzhugh coming out to retrieve it. No balls, 2 strikes to Carey. Thomas Paxton on the mound. Here's the pitch. Fastball in or outside and away. Paxton nods his head, unleashes a pitch, which is lifted out to left field, and it will drop right in front of Connor Powell. That's a base hit for the Salamanders. Their 6th of this game. Check that, let that be their 7th. And now up to hit is Robert Nedry, the third baseman. Ground out to short in the 2nd, fly out to left in the 5th, walked in the 7th. Paxton. Fastball just inside. Wipes his hands on his collar. Sharks wearing their sky blue jerseys. The 1-0 delivery. Down low and in. Paxton, now he straightens his belt. Readjusts his cap. Sharks navy caps with a gray W. Wilmington, 2-0. 2-0 on the season. 2-0 is the count to Nedry. Sharks 2 outs away from going up 3-0 in this season. Wilmington leads Holly Springs 5-1. A rematch of Thursday's contest. Here's Paxton. Bouncing ball high in the infield. Grabbing it is Labita. No play to be made. A bizarre hit. That's an infield single. This ball was just chopped about 30 feet above the infield grass. And you have to wonder, could that be a product of this turf? Turf is just known for being stiff. When people talk about that, it's usually just not being friendly to the knees and the ligaments. as Austin Skipper comes out of the Sharks dugout to speak with his bullpen arm, Thomas Paxton. So that ball was just launched up high. In fact, Labita barely cradled it in the glove before flipping it to his throwing hand. And there really was just nothing to be done. Nothing he could have done. Nothing he could do. So the Salamanders, after putting a second baseman on the mound in the top of the ninth, here they are threatening in the bottom of this inning. Sharks still with a 5-1 lead as the home plate umpire Greg Stanley marches up to break up the mound meeting. So the Sharks, they still have a sizable lead, but they don't want to risk it too much with their closer Paxton. So Carey, the pinch runner turned pinch hitter, on second, and Nedry at first. Sharks lead 5-1. The man at the plate, Newsome, I believe. The pitcher, the second baseman now pitcher, takes a big hack and a miss. And DiMucci tried to check Carey at second. No play was to be made. So, strike one to Newsome, the Eagle Scout. I'm an Eagle Scout myself, so lots of respect to Newsome. No balls, one strike. Paxton packs some heat on that pitch. Strike two. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike three. DiMucci stands up quickly, points to Paxton, says, "You got it." There are now 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth. Up to hit now is Andrew Opada, the 9-hole hitter for Holly Springs from northern Georgia. 2 runners on. That's Carey at second, Nedry at first. Paxton on the mound for Wilmington. He looks over at Carey. Was a 15-foot lead off second. Now the pitch. Rifled down the middle. Strike one. No balls, one strike. Paxton head on a swivel. His pitch. This one's hit to the shortstop Hasser. Turning, throwing. This could be it. Yes, it is. Out number 3. Sharks win 5-1 on the road in Holly Springs. Wilmington now 3-0 to start this Coastal Plain League season in 2024. A good start for the 2023 Eastern Division Champions. Post-game show coming up next on the Wilmington Sharks Audio Network.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Welcome to the Wilmington Sharks postgame show. I'm Lance Williams, live from Holly Springs. The Sharks win 5-1 over Holly Springs. These teams faced off on Thursday in the CPL opener for both teams. Sharks won that game 8-1. And the Sharks commanded this game as well. In CPL play through 3, the Sharks are yet to trail. Really impressed. I lied. They trailed 3-2 in the Greenville game on Saturday. Still, they're yet to lose, which is all that matters. Now, the starting pitcher, Aubrey Smith, you really have to praise him a lot. You know, it's not easy after pitching your freshman season at a Division I school such as UNC Wilmington, and then having your coach tell you, "Look, we want you to sit out this year." That has to be difficult as a player, and he took it smoothly. He says, "Okay, I'll put in the work, and I'll come back." And he's yet to return to the Seahawks, who are actually in the 2024 NCAA tournament. So as his college teammates are out competing in the big dance for baseball, he's here putting the work to get better. And so he made his first pitching appearance since last summer in the Appalachian League. And what does he do? 4 shutout innings, 4 hits, no walks, 1 strikeout. An excellent night from Aubrey Smith. And then the bats just supported him. First run came in the first. 1 run. That was Anthony Labita, who was driven in by Jay Bant. Sharks plated another in the 5th. And then Anthony Labita, his double, brought in 2 more. Then the final run was driven in by Caleb Johnson's sac fly. They had a 5-0 lead that they maintained. Some struggles, particularly in the 7th inning. Salamanders, they scored 1, then they loaded the bases, but a big-time double play got him out of the jam. Bryson Jewell, his 3rd game to not start an inning, but finish it for another pitcher, and he did his job. I don't have connection with the official scorekeeper, so I don't know who the official winning pitcher is, but a really good night for the pitching. B.J. Jewell. He had a shutout inning. Split between 2 innings. After Smith, it was Ethan Atkinson making his Sharks debut. 2 shutout innings, 1 hit, no walks, 4 Ks. Laser, he came in. He did have his struggles. No outs recorded, 1 hit, 1 run, 2 walks, no Ks. But that's why you have a bullpen. Jewell came in, backed him up. Ryan DeWeese, man, a 1-2-3 inning from him in the 8th. And Thomas Paxton closed it out for Wilmington. So, a 5-1 win here in Holly Springs. And the Sharks get the dub. I'm Lance Williams, signing off from Holly Springs. Sharks next play tomorrow back in the Shark Tank against Morehead City. I got to go catch a bus now. Good night.